Hey, James. Pretty good, man. How you doing this morning? Just plugging away at this price charting list thing. I really wish that I had been keeping a spreadsheet or something of all of these purchases since I made them, or since the beginning of collecting. Oh, it's cool, man. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty laid back thing. I can't remember if you made it last night at all or not. Basically what I'm doing is just going system by system and logging away the condition of all my games and making a complete compiled list so I don't buy any more duplicates and stuff like that. I was just looking because there's a game I've been looking for called Sky Gunner on the PS2, and it's like a $50 game. And I was working out a trade with Dave, and I just looked at my shelf, and I own that game already. It's already on my shelf, and I had no idea. Just completely forgot. It's crazy. Yeah, absolutely. I've already gotten a number based on just the very small part that I've cataloged so far, and it's way more than I would have expected. Game box manual. But anyway, I know these streams might not be as fun to watch. They're very satisfying for me. It's kind of, I was saying yesterday, it's kind of therapeutic almost to sit here and log all of these and get to kind of mentally go through the collection one by one. A lot of my PS1 games and PS2 games are cheapo ones that I just picked up because they were super cheap. That's awesome, James. You never know, man. I had a Game Boy Advance game that I paid like $3 for, and it ended up being worth $20 yesterday. And that kind of stuff is just really cool to me. But you never know what that stuff's worth until you look it up. I wish I had a bigger Gamecube collection, but Gamecube games in particular are so expensive. It's hard to collect for the Gamecube. Because like every game on the Gamecube that's good is a big name game. There are just so many of them, and they're all so popular. And then there are some of those underground ones like Cubivore. Cubivore is super expensive. It's like $200+. Horror Blu-rays? That's cool. That's real cool. I don't know if it's worth putting complete inbox on every one of these when I put it in here. Dracula the Resurrection. There it is. Me too, man. I had a bunch of games that burned up in a fire that we had in our garage when I was a teenager. And then I had even more games that I just sold over the years. Really wish that that had not happened. Atari. Hey, Cody. Yeah. I honestly don't know. I'll have to go look. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I do know. I don't have this one. I have this one. Well, let me look. Yeah, man. I can't believe that people sell these games to the game stores either, you know? It's just crazy to me that people would sell out. Like, just recently, somebody sold a whole bunch of boxed NES games. I've got them up in my shelf. I guess I could turn my webcam on. I've got them up in my shelf over here. And they're not worth a ton of money, but I think they probably got about $8 for the whole stack of boxed NES games, because the game store just trades for loose prices. They don't differentiate between loose and boxed. And so I bought all of those for loose prices. I paid like $50 maybe for the whole stack, and they're worth over 100. I mean, 150 maybe. And that guy could have sold them for $100 easily if he had just listed them on Craigslist or something. So I don't know. I don't know why people do that. My guess is that people just don't understand that the games are still worth anything. You know, maybe they just think, yeah, these have just been sitting around. But like, those NES games were in perfect condition. So somebody cared for those for 30 years. I don't know. Let's see, that I've got a blank spine. I think E, that's Eternal Eyes. I guess that one's not complete. I think I'm actually missing the box, or not the box, the manual for that too. See you later, Cody. Wish you could stay, man. Hey, Sam. The most recent thing I sold to a game store was a Wii. Yeah. Yeah, GameStop has a thing right now where if you trade in like an Xbox One, you get $200 toward an Xbox One X. And I kind of considered that, but I just missing back artwork, spine artwork, missing back/spine. There we go. Yeah, I don't sell anything anymore. Even trades, I have hard time wanting to trade anything to anybody. I'm working on that though. There's some stuff I want to trade to Darby and Dave. Fifth Element. I haven't played this Fifth Element game yet. Yeah, James, that makes sense to me, man. I know some people who even consider themselves like digital collectors. Stingray, a guy on YouTube, Stingray Gaming, calls himself a digital collector, I think. I'm just all about preservation lately and keeping these games in as good condition as we can, because in the future, you know, that we're not going to have any more copies of these, and it's getting harder and harder to find them. And with digital collecting, you know, the licenses will expire and you won't be able to play the games. And I just hate to think about that. Cartridges especially work really well, but really right now, if you're buying games digitally, it's kind of a toss-up whether you're even going to be able to play a lot of those games anyway. Like the PS4 games and Xbox One games that come out right now, you've got day one patches, and you've got, you know, you've got to install stuff or access the network in order to install 15 updates that have come out for the game that made it playable when it would have been broken otherwise. And that stuff kind of scares me looking at the future. I just wonder what it's going to be like 15 years from now. My NES games, though, I mean, and the Atari games I've got, you know, 40 plus years old, and work fine. Haven't had any problems. Cartridges are just so reliable. Yeah. Gotcha. Final Fantasy VII. Apparently I have 2 of these. I didn't realize I had 2 of them. I've got a friend named Lorne who has, like, what am I doing? He's got maybe 20 to 30 copies of Final Fantasy VII in a drawer, because every time he sees a copy of Final Fantasy VII, he buys it because he loves the game so much. So he just buys every single copy of it. Hey, Red Rover. How you doing, man? Hope it's not bothering anybody. I'm sucking on this cough drop because I've been coughing nonstop, and it's kind of helping a little bit. Final Fantasy IX. Actually, one of those Final Fantasy VIIs. Let's go back. One of those Final Fantasy VIIs is actually click remove if you do not have item. I don't see remove. They're worn out? Like they won't play anymore? I wish I still had all the NES games we had when I was a kid, but really, we didn't have a lot of NES. We had Super Nintendo games, a ton of those. And then we had the most N64 games, probably. But good old Gubble. Let's see, Hugo the Evil Mirror. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, those cartridges, man, are so freaking durable. Let's see, Jeopardy, second, PS1. There we go. This one's actually new. don't think I skipped anything. Let me know if my webcam covers anything, and I'll change where it is. Legend of Mana. I've never played Legend of Dragoon. Whoa! Legend of Mana is worth way more than I paid for it. I didn't think that was one of those high dollar games. This one's really cool. Lunar Silver Star Story. Is it? I've got this cool box set here. Hold on, is this? Let me see. I think this is the one I've got. Yep. This is awesome. It's got this little art book, the little black book there. And it's just really cool to look at. It's so dated, like you can tell exactly when that art was drawn. Just had a very 90s kind of look to it. Oh geez, that's gonna bring a ton of these up. Why do I even have this Madden game on PS1? I don't remember buying that. This is 98. Some of these prices aren't really that accurate because, like this game, for instance, it values it at $5.33. But $5 really on eBay is just like the minimum cost to ship something. It's like, why even bother if I'm not going to get more than like $5, right? So a lot of times when you see like value at $3 to $5, that's really just, you know, like I've got some High School Musical game that Nick 110 sent me, and it was valued at like $3, but I don't think anybody would actually pay $3 normally. I think that's just price plus shipping. It might have sold one copy in the last 3 years or something. Mary-Kate and Ashley. Magical Mystery Mall. Better believe that's complete in box. Martian Gothic. Oh yeah, must play. It's kind of like a bunch of mini games. It's kind of like Mario Party. I've got some joke games in my collection, like games I bought just because they're so terrible. So like if friends come over and they can't decide what to play, I could be like, okay, you're playing Mary-Kate and Ashley. But yeah, I mean, it's not good. This game's interesting. Have you ever heard of Star Wars Masters of Terras-Kasi? It's a fighting game, kind of like Soul Calibur. Mega Man Legends. Man, I forget how many PS1 games I have because the boxes are so small and they display so well. Well, that Star Wars game, unfortunately, is not very cool. It's pretty terrible, but it's fun. You know, you can beat up. You can play as like Chewbacca and Luke. I don't remember if Leia's in it. Han. And then there's like a bunch of spin. I think Greedo is a character that you can play as. I don't remember. Maybe next Star Wars Day I'll do a video on That one. I would love to play through these Mega Man Legends games. I've played Mega Man Legends 1, but I don't think I've ever played 2. Yeah, man, crappy games are a lot better than they get credit for. I mean, it's just fun to play a bad game sometimes. I've paid way more than I would have liked to pay just for a bad game because I wanted to own that bad game, you know? I wanted to show people how bad it was. Metal Gear Solid. PlayStation. This one's gone up. Same here, James. I love Metal Gear Solid. Love it. I've got 2 copies of this one. Actually, I think I have 3 because I have a re-release, the PS2 box set version of the first game. If anybody was going to start collecting, I think I'd probably have to tell them like PS1, PS2 is where to start. I started with NES, and that's not a bad place to start either because the games are pretty cheap, but you get the most money worth buying PS1 games, and they're just cheap, and there's so many of them. Whoops. I think that's where I would tell people to start. MLB 99. Yeah, I own a lot of copies of Metal Gear Solid 3 too. I own Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PS2 and the PS3. I think I own multiple copies of Metal Gear Solid 4, even though it's only on the PS3 in one version. I love those games. I got this, I can't show you because it's back there, but this Metal Gear Solid art set, and it's like huge. It's like this wide. It's a book set, 2 big books. And it's just concept art for the whole series, and it's even got like they'll draw sorry, Siri started picking me up. They'll draw a hallway or whatever, and they'll draw a guard, and then they'll draw you know, a piece of the environment, like a plant or whatever, and they'll put a question mark next to it, and then you'll have a paragraph about how they could implement stealth around that plant, stuff like that. So it's actual storyboard, you know, in the back rooms of Konami or Kojima Studios or whatever, them trying to build this game from the ground up. And it's really, really neat because you get to see like the actual Japanese handwritten text, and then right under it you'll have a little translation of it. And you get an idea of how that whole process went and like what they were thinking when they were making the Metal Gear games. Two is your favorite? I really like 3. See, from 3 on, I started getting into this habit of playing through the game over and over and over again, like in one stretch. So a new Metal Gear would come out, and I would play all the way through it, and then I would go back, and I'd play through it on the next difficulty, and then I'd go back, and I'd play through it on the next difficulty. And I did that with 3, 4, and 5. 5... I love, but for different reasons, so it wasn't as... I didn't want to keep playing it over and over. But 3 and 4, I played through those at least 3 or 4 times in a row each because I loved them so much. I like 2 a lot as well. I didn't do that same thing, but I have played through 2 several times. Exactly, James. I think it's a great game, but it's a little, it's hard to categorize in there. Let's see. I think I have both Pac-Man World. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I like the direction that Metal Gear Solid 5 was going in. I mean, the open world worked pretty well. It could have been its own game. It could have been a different thing. Same with Metal Gear Survive. You know, I don't think Metal Gear Survive is as awful as everyone's thought it was. But if it was its own game, it probably would have done a little better. Everyone's always saying, like, if it was more like Metal Gear, then it would be better. But I think that if it were its own game, it would have been better, really. Okay. Pipe Dreams is a fun game, puzzle game. Pipe Dreams is kind of like that mini game in the new Spider-Man for PS4 where you have to, like, send the electrical currents through the couplers. Oh, that's cool, man. Take it easy, James. I'll see you later. I'm going to turn my webcam off so I'm not just sitting here with my mouth open looking at the screen, zoned out. Hey, Corey. How you doing, man? I'm good. Just chugging away. I'm working on PS1 games right now, and then after that I'm going to do GameCube games, and then I'm going to do PS2 games. This is a really cool game, Unholy War. I would love to cover that sometime. It's so the overworld plays out like a game of Civilization, where it's all turn-based on a grid, and you're, trying to get resources. And then when you run into another character, you go into like a arena and have a fight, basically. And each character has special moves and combos and all that, but it's like a 3D fighter in an arena when you run into somebody, and it's really neat. It's not like the best game in the world or anything, but it's pretty unique. Yeah. That's how I would describe a lot of PS1 games. It's like not like great, but it's unique. I got a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh games. Missing Exodia card. Yeah, see, well, I think the difference is that I didn't grow up playing PS1 games. I never had a PS1 until after it was phased out, but I did have a friend who had one, so I went over to his house every once in a while and excuse me, played PS1 games over there. And maybe that's why I think that. But there are a lot of good PS1 games that I really like. I just can think of even more that I just think are pretty good. Not great, but they're interesting, unique. "40 Winks" is an interesting one. Have you ever heard of that? It makes the very bold "move over, Mario" claim right on the cover. Like, Mario better watch it. 40 Winks is coming. Let's see, that game belongs to Dave. I guess I'll just do... I've got some games that are like stacked on top of my PS1 games, and I'll go ahead and get those out of the way. See, I've got to not organize my game room until I finish this, because I'm pricing and adding things to the catalog based on what's around me. Yeah, that's right, Corey. It's pretty ironic. I had my webcam on earlier, but I'm coughing so much, and I just don't feel camera ready, if you know what I'm saying. Nice. I haven't played that one yet. I need to. That's an RPG, right? Yeah, I need to check that out. It's just hard for me to play RPGs. I just don't have time. I mean, I'm playing through Persona 5 again because I've started it so many times, and I keep starting it and then stopping, and then I started, and then I sold my old PS4 so I could get a PS4 Pro, and I lost my save file, so then I had to start over again. And I've watched Sydney play through the beginning of the game, so it feels like I've played through the beginning of the game like 4 times. But once I get caught up, I mean, I know that I love the game. You know, I love the way it looks and the music, and I love the series. I've played all the other games. This one's the best of all of them. So I know already that I like the game. I just have to make myself play through it. Four Swords Adventures. I overpaid for my Four Swords Adventures because I wanted it so bad. I fed Forrest an entire cinnamon roll earlier. I went to Whataburger and got breakfast for Sid and I gave him this huge cinnamon roll, and he is just crashed on the floor next to me, rolled over on his side, and his belly is just like hanging out. Gun is a fun game. Reminds me of Red Dead Revolver back in the day. Really? Gun was Red Dead Redemption before Red Dead Redemption existed. Monster Hunter PS2. This one I actually have brand new. That's all right, man. Take it easy. I'll just be hanging out here for a little while, messing with this stuff. Yeah, you too. Hope your errands don't suck. Hey, Dave. This has been the most interesting stream because I've had one person at a time come this whole stream. Like in the beginning, James was here, and then Cody was here. James left, Cody left, Corey came, now Corey's leaving, Dave's here. Love it. It's like y'all are tagging out. Did I actually add that Cabela's game? I wasn't paying attention. I might have skipped away from it. So, Dave, I think in the spirit of unity, we ought to resolve this beef. Star Ocean, Till the End of Time, Greatest Hits. Darby was right. You know, these Greatest Hits ones, almost across the board, the Greatest Hits games are more valuable. I said I thought we needed to squash this beef. We needed to resolve it. Like, look at this. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses. If you have Complete in Box regular, $11. Complete in Box Greatest Hits, $15. Crazy. That could just be coincidence, but it's like every time. Hey, Jesse. Yeah, this is... Let me pop another Ricola. This is ukulele music. I really wanted to play Banjo-Kazooie music, but I thought I'd get a copyright, whatever. I don't think I'll get copyright stroked for ukulele. Dave, did you see my Discord message about already having Sky Gunner? Getting stroked. Is this on here? Metroid Prime Hunters demo. Yeah. So, Dave, I'm sitting here and I'm taking pictures for this video so I can have it all on my phone and I can just go through the pictures and type them in over and over again. And I'm in the PS2 games and I'm looking through the lens of the phone, you know, and I see Sky Gunner and it doesn't really hit me at first. And then I'm like, wait, what? So I pull it off the shelf. It's got the manual. I have no idea when I bought it. No idea. But it's on my shelf right there. So awesome, I guess. Does that have a manual in it? It's got some kind of... It's got something in there. I'm going to check Gamebox and manual. I noticed on my PS4 games, I was doing Gamebox for all the PS4 games because they don't come with manuals, right? But then I started checking manual and the prices went up. And I was like, wait a second, what's going on? So I don't know if it doesn't consider it to be complete in box unless you check manual. Have you run into this issue? I haven't seen many games yet that are worth less than I paid for them. I think I've seen maybe one or two that were worth less than I paid. Let's see, I've got both of these, so this one. Yeah, I think that you kind of have to do that to get the right price, because I think it doesn't consider it complete unless you do that or something. I've also been filling out the descriptions for all of these games, so if I know that I have anything extra that goes with the game or whatever, I've been filling that out in the little extras thing. I did PS1 right before this, so PS1 was the beginning of the stream. I'm doing just some in-between games, and then I'm about to go to Gamecube. Actually, after this game, I'm going into Gamecube games. Yeah, that's perfect, Jesse. Is there a way to manually add stuff to here, Dave? Like things that aren't available on price charting? Like my Hello Kitty Dreamcast isn't on there. My Hori GameCube controller isn't on there. I know there was some other stuff. I can't remember what. All right, GameCube time. Gotcha. Okay, I'll have to do that then for some of this stuff. We got Animal Crossing. Dang, that's gone up considerably since I bought it. I'm thinking I paid like $10 for Animal Crossing. It makes it a lot easier just knowing that all my boxed games have manuals. Because I'm such a weenie about it, and I won't buy a game if it doesn't have a manual. I still have some in my collection just because like people have given me stuff or bought stuff for me that didn't have manuals, but wait, 1L Battalion Wars. Yeah, that's what I meant. Whoops, wrong one. I'm really excited to play Billy Hatcher. This is one I overpaid for. Sounds good, Jesse. Take it easy. Let's see. I want to see some prices for this because I'm pretty sure I overpaid a bit. Let's see. Complete in box prices. $33. It looks like that's just come down recently. Really? These are great games. Do you have Bomberman Generations and Bomberman Jetters? Both of those are really fun. I didn't even know there were Bomberman games on the GameCube until I saw these. I saw them both on a shelf in a game store in like Oklahoma or maybe Tennessee when I was on my way up to Ohio last time. I think I paid like $8 a piece for them. They were like $7.95 games, but they're so good. That was a game exchange. Yeah, Generations is better. The Jetters, the art style's more anime-ish. I don't like it as much. Generations though, awesome. I wish I had Disney Sports Basketball. I think that one's worth like a ton of money. Let's see. Disney Sports Basketball. Yeah. See, Disney Sports Basketball complete in box is $175. If I ever see those Bomberman games, I'll pick one up for you, but I don't think I've ever seen another copy of either of them. Why am I looking for Donkey Kong? Did I just type Donkey Kong Z? Donkey Ball Z. That was supposed to be Dragon Ball Z, not Donkey Ball Z. I was looking. Okay, so in my collection picture that I have here over on my right, I have Donkey Konga, Donkey Konga 2, and then Dragon Ball Z Budokai. and I'd already put in Donkey Konga, so I skipped over it, but I guess my brain got stuck on it, and I typed Donkey Ball Z. I love it. I don't know why that's so funny. I love it because it was just a pure mistake. Like, I had no idea why I was seeing Donkey Kong stuff. I love it. Extreme G Racing. I actually don't have this one complete. I think that this is this one. Yeah. Crystal Chronicles. Geist. I haven't played Geist yet, but I've heard it was good. I think I paid like $2 for this one, and it's worth $15 apparently. Yeah, that looks awesome, Dave. I think they even confirmed online multiplayer, didn't they? Pretty sure I remember hearing that. This game is amazing. Have you ever played this, Dave? Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. It's one of the best superhero games I've ever played. I would say this one's maybe a hidden gem too. It's awesome. So you're playing as the Hulk, and you can jump like hundreds of feet into the air, and you can climb buildings and run up the side of them and everything. But anything that's metal, you can pick up like a air conditioner or a car. Like, say you pick up a car, you can smash it on the ground, rip it into two pieces, and then put the pieces on your fists, so you have giant metal fists. And you can like pick up cars and throw them at helicopters and stuff. Oh, it's just so cool. There's so much you can do in that game. That's one of those highly recommended ones. Hey, Limit Breaker. No, unfortunately not that creative, but I couldn't find the new Spider-Man on here for PS4. I was trying to log that, but I couldn't find it. Toadstool Tour. Some things are hard to find just browsing on here. I wonder if I got the name wrong or punctuation or something off. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I haven't played it yet, though. Have you? Double Dash. Double Dazzle. I don't have the special edition. Hey, Ras. I tried it both ways. I even tried it with a space between Spider and Man. Oh, well, there's multiple ways to do it. You can do Spider-Man, you can do Spider-Man, and then you can do Spider-Man. That has shown up in those different variations through comic books. Network transmission. I like this Mega Man game. It's not great, but it's fun. Mario Sluggers Baseball. Yeah, Superstar Sluggers. Is that right? No, that's not right. Mario Sluggers. Am I not reading this right? Oh, okay. I was mixing all of it. It's Mario Superstar Baseball. Dang, the PAL version of this game is really expensive. Really? Maybe that's why the PAL version's so expensive. So Shattuck, that CIB means complete in box. And the reason I'm doing that is so that later on I can sort the list by things that are complete in box. So if I need to know what I don't have complete, I can refer to that list and I can look up what I'm missing. In some cases, things that I might be missing are like maps or posters, things like that. But sometimes it's also like I don't have the original box, or I don't have the artwork, or I don't have the manual. Yeah. Maybe they'll make Mario Rugby someday. Yeah, this is what I've got. This is a weird game, Odama. This is, at the same time, this is a military sim and a pinball game. And it's so weird. Let's see. Pack Dash Man. Oh, that's what I messed up. Might be Pac-Man bundle here. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I haven't played Strikers in a long time. Thousand-Year Door. Seeing Strikers, Dave? Pikmin. Oh, Odama, yeah. Odama is so weird. Sid and I actually recorded a little playthrough of Odama. Not a full playthrough, but we tried. And our idea was, instead of having one person do both the military sim and the pinball, we'd have one of us doing the military sim and one of us doing the pinball. And that is so hard because you have to give your orders while you're playing pinball. Otherwise, you're just like impossibly shouting one step behind. Pool Paradise is fantastic. It's probably one of the best pool simulator sort of games, if you like those. It's awesome, Ras. I've been having a pretty good weekend. Been a little coffee still, but a lot of stuff's happened this weekend. It's been pretty relaxing too. Really good weather. Resident Evil 2. Dang, Resident Evil 2. Oh, dang it, that's the N64 one. Gamecube one, not as much. Resident Evil 0. That's not bad at all, Ras. That's basically what it is here. Simpsons Hit and Run. Gamecube. I don't know where some of these games came from. Like, I don't even remember buying Simpsons Hit and Run. Yeah, Shattuck, it's just really flying by, man. Soul Calibur 2. I've got 2 of these. I'm really unsure whether I should put my duplicates in here or not, but I'm doing it. Dave, I didn't put Jumping Flash 2 in here because that game is yours. And I'm going to send it to you tomorrow. SpongeBob. I really want to talk about trades, though. Oh, Ras, you got to get it. It's pretty cheap now, too. Dang, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is worth almost $20. Cool. We're almost through the GameCube games. I don't have a ton of GameCube games. And after GameCube, we're going to go into PS2. And then after PS2, we're going into cartridges. Star Fox Assault. That one's gone up. Star Fox Adventures. I'm surprised Star Fox Adventures isn't more sought after. Because it's a really good game. It's just you know, not very Star Foxy. It's fun though. Yeah, me too, Dave. Here's another one coming up that I don't have complete. Actually, there's a big one coming up that I don't have complete that I really wish I did. Not this one, a different one. Is that not what it is? Rogue Leader? Okay. The subtitles are not on here. This one I only have game for. In Fake Box. And then Rebel Strike. This is probably the one I'm most sad about not having complete. Super Mario Sunshine, one of my favorite games. My favorite Mario game still, I think. And you know what? I don't even have the box for it. I just have a loose disc. That's it. And it's in a fake box. Sucks. I love Mario Sunshine. But I don't want to pay $50. Well, $30. Oh, well, that's my loose price. I don't want to pay $50 for Mario Sunshine. Smash Bros. Melee. This game sells for a lot more than this around here. There are stores that sell this for $75 here. What's the most expensive game you've ever seen? Melee? Yeah, it's not cheap. Thanks, Ras. I'm sure I could buy a box and manual for not too much. I just really haven't wanted to. But I need to before it gets more expensive. Or at the very least, I need to be looking for a deal. I haven't really been keeping my eyes open for that. Beautiful Joe is great. Yeah, I unfortunately have Beautiful Joe 1 on the Gamecube and Beautiful Joe 2 on the PS2. I wish I had them both on one system. And I wish that system was the Gamecube. Wario World. Love this one. Have y'all played Wario World? Mario Party Beautiful Joe game? I don't know if I've seen that. Or maybe I've just forgotten. The GameCube is great, man. So many awesome games on the GameCube. I'm going to turn my fan on real quick after I put this one in because it's getting kind of warm in here. Okay, let me do that real quick. All right. Well, let's just see. Beautiful Joe. Should I turn the webcam on or should I leave it off? Is it obscuring the screen? Red Hot Rumble. Is that it? I'm guessing it's Red Hot Rumble. Yeah. I need to get that. Beautiful Joe 2 on the GameCube is only $14. I need to get that one and just sell my PS2 version, I think. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to sell anything. I'm going to keep everything forever. Excuse me. Enter the Matrix held up well. It did, Ras. That's a good game still. Okay, we're on to PS2 now. And then we're on to cartridges. PS2 might take us a little bit of time, though. I've got quite a few PS2 games. Not that many, really. Adventures of Cookie and Cream. I saw a Ninja on here the other day, Dave. And yeah, you're right. It's... Let's see, what was it? Well, that's not bad. Maybe I saw it on eBay. Sealed copies, $40. Adventures of Cookie and Cream. Adventures of Cookie and Cream is a cool game. I haven't played it yet. Hold on. Adventure. I bought it because the co-op looked cool. Adventure of Cookie and Cream. So when you play co-op in this game, you have Cookie and Cream on different sides of the screen, and you're trying to move through the obstacle course at the same time. And sometimes there are ways that each side interacts with the other. Like there was a catapult that sent a floaty thing over to Cookie's side. I guess it sent like a watermelon over there, and then that hippo ate it. So it's kind of neat. I should have made that full screen so y'all could actually see it. But anyway, cool game, really cheap game. I think it's probably worth it. Hey Joseph, nice to meet you, man. How you doing? Forgive my coughing. I'm gonna shove another one of these Ricola in my mouth. Yeah, it's definitely kind of crashy. All right. Air Force Delta Storm. I already added that one. Oh, that's the PS2 one. Oh, this is Strike. Okay. Yeah, so this stream, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm going through my collection and categorizing all of them and cataloging them in pricecharting.com so I can have an accurate value and an accurate list. So when I go to stores, instead of having to call my wife here at home and have her come in my game room and check, I can just look on this website and see what I own, and then I maybe won't buy as many duplicates as I have been. I was telling Dave, like, there's this $50 game that I've been trying to get called Sky Gunner on the PS2. And I've wanted it for so long. And I was even talking to Dave about possibly trading for his copy of the game. And then today, right before this stream, I was looking at my shelf, and there's Sky Gunner on the PS2. I already bought it months ago and then forgot about it and remembered how much I wanted it, and I was trying to buy it again. This is a good idea, Joseph. I had used Completionator a little bit back in the beginning of collecting. I used that on my phone, but I think price charting is probably the best place. People seem to trust the prices on here pretty well too. It's kind of like the Kelly Blue Book of game collecting. I appreciate that, Ras. Let's look and see if Action Replay is on there. Yep. Action Replay, GameCube, PS2, Xbox. Might not be as cheap as you think, depending on what system you have it for. But yeah, Ras, I had been wanting to do this for a while, and I finally sat down to do it, and I was like, man, I wish somebody was streaming so that I could have somebody to watch while I do this super boring task. But then I thought, you know what? I'll just stream what I'm doing, and then maybe it won't be as boring. And it's definitely not as boring for me anymore. I don't know about you guys. If anybody has a recommendation for game music, that's what we're listening to, just soundtracks. We could put on another soundtrack if there's something that people like. Let's switch it up, because the ukulele soundtrack's getting a little stale. I think. So much harder to talk with this giant Ricola cough drop in my mouth. I didn't know Baroque was on Wii as well. Yeah, man, I know what you mean. I wish that I had started doing this as soon as I started collecting, but I didn't have the forethought, or it just got away from me real quick. I did start in the very beginning. I had an Excel spreadsheet that I was putting everything into, but it didn't last very long. What was that? Batman Begins. Batman Vengeance is a really fun game. The controls are kind of terrible because we've played so many good Batman games now, or had so many good ones, that going back kind of sucks. But the story and everything is fantastic. That's awesome, Ras. I'm gonna find us another soundtrack. I listened to the Shadow of the Colossus soundtrack last night. Excuse me. Anything that's Nintendo will get flagged and copyrighted, so what has a really good soundtrack? Ori and the Blind Forest. Let's do that. There we go. It's just kind of ambient music. It's not very loud or anything. All right. Where was I? Beyond Good and Evil. I love doing streams like this. You know, it's very relaxed, like you were saying, and you can just kind of kick back and chat. Beat down, Fists of Vengeance. Let's see. Well, I thought it was like a fighter at first, but it looked like... Oh, okay. Dang, this looks very unique. You got a pride gauge. You can threaten and intimidate. Wow. All right, that's going to be the first game I'm going to add to my wish list on here. If anybody else has any suggestions. Yeah, that looks awesome, man. Is there a preference between Xbox and PS2? Xbox one is cheaper. I'm going to put that one on my wish list for now. think that's the copy that I have. I don't think there's anything special about it. Gotcha. A lot of multiplats are better on Xbox, but you can never tell. You gotta try them all, because sometimes it's the opposite, and sometimes like GameCube will squeak by and be the best one, but then also like half the time it doesn't matter. Deer hunt. It doesn't matter which one's actually best, because nostalgia is all that really matters. Just whatever you played it on to begin with is most fun. That's awesome, Joe. I'll have to check out your stream of that, because I love finding new games like that, hidden gem sort of things. Castle Shikigami 2. This is such a cool, weird game. This is one I've still got sealed. Castle Shikigami 2 is a vertical shooter, but it's got a story to it. And they took the story that was in Japanese and they translated it to English, and then they got voice actors to dub over that. But the thing is that when they translated it from Japanese to English, they didn't really translate it. What they did is they just copied, one-to-one translation from Japanese to English, which means the grammar doesn't really work, and a lot of the times you can't even make out what they're trying to get across, because one-to-one translation doesn't work that way. But since it's voice acted, they got the voice actors to read all of the lines just as they were translated, like exactly matching the subtitles. And it's ridiculous, because the grammar's all over the place, and the English speakers who are speaking English to you are just saying nonsense because they're having to follow the script. Oh, it's so funny. What is this called? Lament of Innocence. There we go. Basically, yeah, that's basically what it is. They put it in like a translation tool. They just translated each word individually. Champions of Norath was a great game. Koro Q is a anime cell shaded looking racing game from Atlas, and it's very unique. And that's one that, maybe someday will be worth some more money. I don't know. A lot of Atlas games just at weird times suddenly become super valuable. How do you spell this? Sin Ryaku. Oh, yeah, Ras. I mean, most of these games I've discovered since starting to collect, but there are some of them that I played back when I was younger. Darby was spot on with that. The greatest hits versions always seem to have higher average prices for some reason. You would really think it would be the other way around, and the original would be the high dollar one. Demon Stone's a cool game. Co-op, I think, for 3 people. Yeah, Ras, exactly the same. So on PS2, you've got Greatest Hits. On Gamecube, you had Player's Choice, or Nintendo, you had Player's Choice. And then on Xbox, you had Platinum Hits. Those are the different naming schemes that they use. I don't know why I don't have Devil May Cry 1 and 2. I'm just now realizing I'm missing those. I love those games. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, it could be that those are just sold at higher volume or something. Maybe the pricing is more consistent on the greatest hits stuff because they're sold more often. Or maybe it is that there are fewer of them in circulation than the originals. Missing Budokai 1 on the PS2 as well. I didn't know I had Budokai 2, though. I thought I was missing that one, and I almost bought it yesterday. Melee is still worth some money. Yeah, Budokai games are all good. So good. Dave was in here earlier, and I was looking up. So I've got my GameCube shelf, this right over here, and I was going through the list, and I saw my Donkey Konga games, but I had already put those into price charting, and the next game on the list was Dragon Ball Z Budokai. So I typed in Dragon Ball Z Budokai, and all these Donkey Kong games came up. And I was like, what the heck? Why are all these Donkey Kong games coming up? So I scrolled up, and I'd actually typed in Donkey Ball Z instead of Dragon Ball Z, and I thought it was so funny. It was just like a purely a mistake. But it was just funny when I scrolled up and saw Donkey Ball Z in quotes. Did I skip Dog's Life? Apparently not. I must have suffered a fugue state there. Tenkaichi 3. Dang. Tenkaichi 3 is worth some money. $60 complete in box. Dragon Quest 8. Yeah, I guess sometimes after looking at this for so long, it just all starts to kind of run together a little bit. We're making pretty good time going through the PS2 games, and the next thing is getting onto cartridges. Did I miss Budokai 3? I got Budokai 3. Oh, you have to get Budokai 3. My bad. I gotcha. See how scattered I am? Evergrace. What is that emoji? What does it mean? I don't understand at all. Oh, gotcha. Fatal Frame. Oh, Stonehead. Gotcha. Fatal Frame 2. I wish I could carry on some better conversation while I was doing this, but as you can tell, when I start to say anything other than what I'm doing, I lose track and then forget to do stuff. Yeah, it's fun. It's a good one. I really love Champions of Norath. Have you played Champions of Norath or the second one, Return to Arms? Yeah, there's a second one. Mm-hmm. Yep, all good. Frogger, Ancient Shadow. Sounds so like menacing. But then on the cover, Frogger's just, you know, classic protagonist. Yeah, Friends trivia game. That's more for my wife than for me. I think Broken Angel is what this one is, yeah. Eventually, I'm seriously going to take the time, and I'm going to take pictures of every one of my games. I'm going to put the pictures in here. Every single one of them. I have Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I bought it yesterday on the Xbox for $3. It's in the other room, but I'm actually going to go ahead and put it in here while I'm thinking about it. This one. Dang, that's worth way more than $3. You know what? I'm not going to do this because it's not right in front of me, and I need to be looking at everything when I do this. Otherwise, I'll get confused. Futurama for PS2 is still worth some money. Well, this game store right down the street from me is having... Apparently the managers came in, and the manager, or like the regional manager, got mad at the store manager and was like, "You're taking in too many games. You got the shelves all full. You got to get rid of some of this stuff." So the regional manager goes through and just marks down a ton of stuff. So I bought, I got a Jungle Green N64 for $50. I got a bunch of N64 games for $3 a piece. I got a bunch of PS2 and Xbox games for $3 a piece. I got Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 for $5. Just crazy deals, like really, really, really good deals. It's my favorite game store too, because the guy there will bargain with you, and he'll actually take offers on stuff. And the way their system works, apparently, is that in the system it shows how much they paid out for a game. So say they got a copy of Super Mario World, right? Maybe they paid out $5 for it. So he's got a sticker on it that says it's selling for $25. But he can go in the system, and since he can see that they paid out $5 for it, he could sell that same game for $10 and still make a profit. And the store allows that. Like the regional managers are actually okay and encourage him to deal with people and, you know, make the sales at any cost. So when I go in there, I get some sweet deals. I spent a lot of money in there yesterday because he just, every single game I brought up to him, he was like, "Dude, $5." Like I found this game called Vortex on the Super Nintendo that I found out I wanted recently, and the sticker was $15, and I walked over and he's like, "That's been on the shelf for months, $5." And it was like the coolest game collecting feeling I've ever felt. Because it was just such... It was that raw bargaining. I mean, he didn't even make it hard, but it was still fun. But I love that, you know, trying to make a deal happen. It's one of my favorite feelings. Yeah, the GameCube had Gauntlet Dark Legacy, which is a great game, by the way. It plays best on the Xbox, but it's fun on the GameCube, too. I think the GameCube version is slightly different than the Xbox and PS2 versions. I don't remember how, though. Guitaru Man. Where am I on the shelf? Oh, I'm a third of the way through this shelf, I think. Which one is on Steam? I think I've seen that. Gauntlet, Dark Sorrows. Is that right? Sorrow. Something Sorrows. All right. Next picture. It's just Gauntlet. Hold on, I'm going to look it up. You're not talking about Seven Sorrows. Okay, that's old. Oh, see, I haven't played this one. It looks cool though. Back to the classic style, it looks like. That's awesome. That's awesome, just like Gauntlet, the old NES ones. Have you ever played Arkista's Ring on the NES? That's my favorite Gauntlet style game. The levels are a little bit more bite-sized than Gauntlet. Like Gauntlet 2, I guess, is my point of reference on that, but... That's worth way more than I paid for it. I paid like $1 for that in Ohio. I think I paid like $1 for the sequel too. Yeah, it's not worth as much though. Let me show you Arkista's Ring. You'll see what I'm saying. Arkista's Ring. Here we go. I love this game. See, so this one, I don't know what to compare it to. All the levels are vertical like this, I think. It's kind of like King's Knight, where you can walk forward and backwards. It's like King's Knight that doesn't scroll on you. but the goal in each stage is to find the key and then get through the door. And sometimes keys will unlock walls and just make a wall disappear. That's what reminded me of it. This is a great game. You get power-ups too. You can use these special powers at any time. And that you've got like one power that gives you a wand where you can shoot balls through like brick walls and stuff. And then you've got a power that's like some kind of demon or something. It just kills everything on screen at once. Let's see. I don't remember how many levels there are in this game, but it's an obscene amount of levels. And you pick up armor pieces. That's what these are down here. You've got a cape and a helmet and wrist bracers, shield, chest plate. The music can get kind of grating, especially when you get in a series of levels that all take place in the same place, like the same setting. Such a good game, though. Harvey Birdman. I forgot I had this drink over here. I've been sitting here all thirsty. If you like the show, you need to get this game. It's super cheap, and it's so funny. It's just like the show. And it plays out like Phoenix Wright, I guess, or like the Ace Attorney games. Kind of a point-and-click adventure. Hot Shots Golf 3, not 23. Ico. See you later, man. Take it easy. Ugly North American box art for this game. Hey, man. Yeah, I saw that. Old Ray. Man, I wish I had this chainsaw controller for Resident Evil 4. I think this is what I've got. It's not pictured, but I'm pretty sure this is the steel case. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. Okay. Yeah, Zero is really something. And then Chris Lowe took it and made it like all awesome. Actually set to music. It was crazy. Dang, Ring of Red's worth something now. 16 something dollars. Robotech Battle Cry is a great game. Man, we're flying through these now. I guess it is easier when I'm not talking as much. Samurai Western. Jeez. Savage Skies. So what kind of stuff do you like to play, Joe? A little everything? It's crazy. You can get Shadow of the Colossus for $6 complete. You like to play I mean excuse me. Sounds like you play a lot of retro stuff. I love RPGs personally, but I just don't have time to play them now. Grow up and don't have time to do anything. So now I kind of like bite-sized stuff. That's why I really like playing NES games a lot. But that doesn't stop me from buying all these RPGs. I've bought so many RPGs that I'm probably not going to be able to play until I'm retired. I do like me some Mario, though. Shepherd's Crossing is a cool game that not many people have played, as far as I know. It's an RPG. It's okay. So sometimes it's a farm simulation kind of Harvest Moon sort of game, and then at other times it's kind of like Animal Crossing, and then at other times it's a strategy RPG. Really neat. A big mix of a lot of different genres. Cool game, and it's only like $7. Limited edition. I don't think I have the limited edition, do I? Can't tell where on the box it says it's limited edition. That one says it on the back. Let me check my box. Nope, not the limited edition. It is sealed, though. Okay. I don't know. I might make it into NES and Super Nintendo stuff today, too. Just have to see. I actually have just the box and the manual for that one. Hey Ray, how you doing, man? No beefs in here. You know, I'm really trying to squash all my beefs lately. That was a pretty sick track you put down earlier, though. Slide 2. This is the regular one. What are you up to today, Ray? I thought I had all these SOCOM games, but I only see SOCOM 3 up there. 10-hour shift. Ouch. Is that happening right now? I should have bought Sonic Riders on the Gamecube if it's only $8 complete in box. Ah, okay. Well, you're not missing much here, man. I'm just kind of taking my time going through all these games. I'm about 3/4 of the way through PS2, and then I'm going to have to ask myself if I want to keep going into the cartridges. Whoops. Ah, yeah, I don't blame you at all for that. Spy Fiction is so good. This was a $5 game, and then Metal Jesus covered it, and now it's worth some more than that. It did jump up to like $75 right after he covered it, but it looks like it's stabilized a little bit now. I don't have Battlefront 1. Dang. I only have Battlefront 2. I do have Shadow Hearts Covenant. Yeah, I already put it in. When I get done with this, I'm going to share the master list on Discord so everybody can see what games I have and what games I don't. Star Wars Episode 3. Let's see. I think it was pretty high. Yeah, $37. That's pretty good. Racer. I just wish I had more time to sit down and play RPGs for hours and hours and hours, but just don't. Forrest is laying over here on the ground next to me, and he keeps doing these little kicks, and it's just beautiful. Yeah, I'm still playing Dragon Quest, slowly but surely. And now I'm playing Persona 5 again for some reason, so I'm probably going to drop Dragon Quest and then have to come back to it. And the cycle continues forever and ever and ever. I love this Super Bust-A-Move box. It's got this baby blowing a bubble on it. This one. See that baby? Sydney hates it. She thinks it's the worst cover art ever. Super Dragon Ball Z is awesome. It's Dragon Ball Z basically in the Street Fighter engine. This is a terrible Superman game here. The other one on the Xbox is really good, but that one's terrible. See you later, Zero. I'm going to turn my mic off here for a little bit until somebody else comes. All right, that's all the PS2 games. Whew. And I just need to decide if I'm going to go ahead and do any cartridges in this stream, too. Nothing else on the shelf to go through. So I can put this Game Boy SP in there. Let's see, that's the purple one. Is it called purple? Or is it called something else? Cobalt? That's blue. Let's see, the prices aren't too different. I'm just going to put it in there as black for now, just so I have it listed. You know what? I should also put with charger model 101 with brighter screen. There we go. Can I put NES Classic in here? I can. Look at that. I guess I can go ahead and put all my mini systems in here then, if they're... Famicom Mini's not in here, though. Oh. Super Nintendo Classic. I'll be right back. I might do some more. Yeah, I'm going to go a little longer. I'm going to start going through Super Nintendo games now. Probably won't do all of them. I don't have these in any kind of order either. These are actually going to be easier because I can just quick add them. Yeah, this one. Okay, Link to the Past, add another copy, just the game. And then we've got Link to the Past on the Famicom. Let's see if we can find that. I don't know. Maybe you have to put in the actual Japanese names. Triforce of the Gods is what it's called over there. Let's try that. Nope. I don't think I'm going to be able to put my Super Famicom games in here. That's okay. Hey, Nadict. How you doing? Waking up at 1:30? You must have had a late night last night. Let's just search Super Scope. Maybe we'll find it a little more easily. There we go. I'm going through Super Nintendo games now. Just throwing them in here one at a time. Paperboy 2. I don't have a ton of Super Nintendo games. Because they're so expensive to collect for, that system in particular. With the NES, you can get some great games for like $5 a piece. But with the Super Nintendo, you'd be lucky if you got a good game for $15. But that said, there are a lot of really, really good games on the Super Nintendo. I think that there are more consistent quality once you get over like the $20 hump on the Super Nintendo than there is on the NES. See, I added my boxed one, so I need to add the loose one. A lot of my Super Nintendo games are also not in great condition. Yeah, I think I mostly agree with that, Nadict. The unfortunate thing is just how expensive it is to buy those games now. There's a lot of licensed games that are really cheap, though, on the Super Nintendo. Mario Paint. Let's see, and I've got the whole bundle here. Game box. I think I have the manual. I don't have the box. Let's put mouse plus mouse pad. Okay, I've got to take some more pictures here. Okay. I already put in all my Mario RPGs. I have so many of those. Put that in already. Biker Mice from Mars is really fun. It's apparently worth $40? Crazy. I like Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage a lot. I remember playing that a lot when I was a kid. Cool World seems fun, but I can never figure out what to do. I need to look up a guide or something for that one. Hey, Mr. Fish. That's right. Let's see, I think I already put this in here. Let's see. Yep, boxed and loose. Dracula. Mario is missing. This one has writing all over it. ActRaiser. ActRaiser also has some writing. I could probably get that off, but that's okay. Super Star Wars. Don't I have... Oh, I have Return of the Jedi boxed. Yeah, the Wii is so hit or miss just because there's so many. And you know, I like the Wii because there are so many hidden games that people have never heard of on it. But you know, it's so hard for me to go back and play like Super Mario Galaxy and have to deal with the motion controls to do that little spin, because it's such a crucial thing in the game and the motion just doesn't work well enough. It's not reliable enough for platforming like that. Don't like it. Yeah, the GameCube is probably the second. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one because, like, let's look. GameCube. Wikipedia. Okay, there are 658 games on this list of GameCube games. But the PS2, I'm not saying I like the PS2 better, but the PS2 has 2,600 games. And a lot of them are really, really, really good. And a lot of them are ports of GameCube games. You know, like multi-platform games. The PS2 has an amazing library. So many good games. So many of them are games that are also on the GameCube. It's just the Nintendo part of us that wants to say, without a doubt, GameCube is better, for me at least. Tom and Jerry. This is Buster Bust Loose, but unfortunately my copy looks like crap. Game, stickers, labels, maybe a little torn. Yeah. Yeah, the PS1 and the PS2 are both crazy impressive, and it makes me wish that I had had a PS1 when I was younger. I did have a PS2 when it was in its prime, and I played a lot of PS2 games, but let me see if I added... No, let's add another copy. Just the game. Yeah, I had a friend that had a PS1, so I would go over to his house and play Metal Gear Solid and Spyro, stuff like that. Man, I wish that the Star Wars games weren't so hard. I played A New Hope, or I guess it's just Super Star Wars, recently, and I did really well. I got far into the game, I felt, or like further than I'd ever gotten before, at least. And it made me think that maybe that one's possible, but Empire and Return are so hard, which sucks because the games are actually really fun. That's all you played on the PS1? Or that's just the reason why you got one? Gotta take more pictures. Okay. Gotcha. The Super Nintendo is just... The cheap games that you can collect on there are all very similar. A lot of the cheap ones that you can find for the Super Nintendo are like licensed platformers. Why did I just type Turtles Turtle? Oh, really? PS1 games are cheap to collect. You know, I'm going to say the label maybe is a tad discolored because I think it looks kind of weird. Label maybe discolored slightly. Mr. Nuts. I didn't know I had this Spider-Man game. Spider-Man X-Men Arcade's Revenge. I was actually just looking at this the other day and thinking, ooh, I need to get that one. There's a game I want for the PS1 called, what is it? It's an air racing PS1 game. It's not called Air Race. It's like 3 letters. Let's see. Flying Racing PS1. Engine? Might be Engine Racing. I think that's it. Final fight. Donkey Kong Country. Let's see. I think the Super Famicom ones are probably on here. Nope. Let's see. Donkey, Super Famicom. There they are. See that? Look at these prices compared to the U.S. prices. So the U.S. prices for these are, $20 to $30 per game. And then the Super Famicom prices, $2.78, $5.25. Platformers should just be bought on Super Famicom because they're so cheap. I even have all of these in box on Famicom. And I think I paid like $40 for all 3 of them. Whoops. Yeah. Yeah, the manuals can be pretty expensive. I think this is 7th Saga. Yep. $10. Oops. Jungle Book. Super Bomberman 2. All right. More pictures. All right, I'm going to do my remaining 5 or 6 Super Nintendo games, and then I'm going to do N64. I can't tell what this one is. Later, Joe. Thanks for hanging out, man. It was nice to meet you. Unless we've met in the past and I forgot. I think I already put Sky Blazer in here. But let me edit that. With Repro Box. There we go. Oh, that's awesome, Joe. Well, thank you so much, man. Hope you have a good day. Yeah, Mr. Fish. Dreamcasts aren't too expensive now. I bought my friend from work a Dreamcast for his birthday for $35, and that was just in a game store here. Spanky's Quest is still one of my favorite Super Nintendo games, I think. Very unique. That seems like a game Nadict would enjoy. Mario's Early Years. Fun with numbers. Wait, is that what I have? Yeah, I have fun with numbers and fun with letters. I don't have the preschool fun one yet. You know what? I'm going to add that to my wish list, though. The thought is that someday, perhaps children will be running these halls. And I need some sweet Mario learning games for them. Spanky's Quest, Nadict? Yeah, I did three episodes of Spanky's Quest. It looks like, well, let's see. Spanky's Quest. Lair.
Welcome to Spanky's Quest.
It looks like this.
This is a game about a monkey who can make balls.
This monkey, you can make a ball, and it starts out as a baseball, and then you can hit it with your head and turn it into other kind of balls that have different properties. Or I guess it starts out as a bubble, but that bubble is a baseball when you pop it. So you have a button that spawns a bubble, and then you can hit that button again and pop the bubble, and the balls come out. It's really fun. It's kind of like a puzzle platformer in some ways, but the boss fights are really cool. I don't know. I want to play it again. Adventures of Dr. Franken. All right, now we are officially on to N64 games until I figure out how to get all my Super Famicom games in here. Yeah, it's kind of similar to Bubble Bobble. Yep. Yeah, Mr. Fish. I used to have a ton of Star Wars Episode 1 things. Like there were these toys that you could put the little chips into, the little electronic data discs or whatever they were calling them at the time. And I had a bunch of those, and they all burned up in the garage fire. Man, I wish I had second attack. Let's see, is it Castlevania 64? That's what it's called. I guess it's just Castlevania. Yeah, there it is. Chameleon Twist. I need to get Chameleon Twist 2 so bad. Let's add that to my wish list. Yeah, man, that sucks. I lost a lot of stuff. I had a boxed Virtual Boy that burned up. That's the thing that I think hurts the most. And other systems, too. Diddy Kong Racing. Forsaken 64 is really fun. I think I already put Donkey Kong 64 in here. Yeah. Oh, did they? I don't know anything about the evolution of Star Wars toys. Hey you, Pikachu. Yeah, that's what I've got. Game. Other. Is that called a VMU? No, that's what was with the Dreamcast, I think. I'll just call it Mike. Accessories. Oh, I see. Jet Force Gemini is fun. My Mario Kart 64 is actually the Japanese one. It's converted though, and it's the exact same game. I'm gonna put it in here as this. That one's gonna be a little off. But I actually have like the whole set, so it'll be worth more than loose prices. Japanese version with gray two-tone controller. New. Yeah, that's good. Mischief Makers. I love Mischief Makers. I need to play that again. Yeah. I really wish I'd been collecting games back then. And even comic books, you know, there are a lot of comic books I wish that I had from that time period when I was in high school, really. Pokemon. And then Pokemon Snap. Rocket, Robot on Wheels. Comic books, there's a lot of those that you can get really cheap now because people thought, you know, maybe these are going to be worth a lot of money, and then a lot of them weren't. My favorite is Shadow of the Bat. Is a Batman run from the late 90s that was really kind of dark and introduced a lot of characters like Man-Bat and Azrael, I think, was introduced in there. Yeah. Oh, looks like we finished the Ori and the Blind Forest soundtrack. What else do we have? What other soundtracks are really good? Let's see, is this licensed? Yeah, this is licensed music. The Ori one might get us already, but Nintendo usually is what copyright claims you. Ooh, the Journey soundtrack, I bet is really good. Yeah. Game box manual. Japanese version. Swapped back. You know what? I don't need to include all that. I'll just say Japanese version and box. Like new. Oh, really? What kind of comics did you buy? My Majora's Mask is a weird case because I had to make my own cartridge for it, basically. Custom blue cartridge. Authentic board and lenticular label. All right, and that's all the N64. I think I'm going to stop there for now. We made another good dent in it, but I've been doing this for like 3 hours, so I'm going to stop there, and then maybe later I'll come back and finish it because we're pretty close to the end. So thank you guys. Appreciate you hanging out, and hope you have a great day.